cheating is the lowest form of foolery. Because you don't have to cheat. You can end one relationship and start another relationship. That means you're not confident. That means you don't know what you want. Okay? So, cheating, that is not dignity to yourself. So, have the confidence. Remember, we talked about the confidence. The competence here is being able to know how to communicate without shivering. Some of us are in relationships where we cannot vividly communicate what we want to communicate. When you say, have you ever seen someone, we need to talk, and then when they get, you tell me what you want. Now, you know, Kakati, you see, ever since this started, and then we will go around. And then, do you know what happens? The person that you came to tell, you were the one with anger, you felt you needed to talk. Right now, the words are vanished, okay? You're taking all the strolls. Now, this person turns tables on you, and all of a sudden, you're the one begging for forgiveness, and you're the one that is crying, and you're the one that is saying, you know what, me, I thought it would not work, but if you're serious, let's go on. Now, you are trapped for another 1 year. Why? No character traits, no competence, no confidence. All in one person. Can you imagine? How many things are you going to lose? That means when you lose on a relationship, you lose in business, you lose like in every other area of your life. So, have the confidence to have the hard conversation. The hard conversation of, I want you to marry me, we've wasted years. No, you did not waste years. We've wasted years for 5 years. That is not a way to communicate. State your values and what you expect out of this relationship. And then state what you are willing to do from now on. And you don't have to benchmark on what they are willing to do. Okay? So, let's go on. Okay. Someone says that get to learn about financial literacy. I think we're going to get a whole day just to do financial literacy because it's huge. Okay? How to get into a relationship with a partner who is right. What to rely on to finding one. Now, a partner that is right is one who chooses you. Wanji? Is that complicated? Because a partner can't be right if they don't want you. They can't be right if you've not talked to them. Some of us are crushing on some people and we are saying they are our right partners. Meanwhile, they don't know we are crushing on them. So whenever mama, when you mubuskati, obigude kabina, you've done everything. You've bought bras that, give you tutu. But they're not seeing you. And then you're saying, but he's my right partner. And when it gets to Christians, oh my God. What pastors have not done. Because sometimes, and we have pastors, by the way, that are really trained in counseling, and they guide people so well, and then we have pastors that are depending on the fact that you are their sheep, and they don't want you to go. So they will get you a brother in church. So when you come to them and tell them, Kakati, I got a brother, which brother? But Brother Solomon wanted you. Let me link you up with Brother Solomon. Why? Because he does not want to lose sheep. Let me leave that one before they box me. So how you know a partner is right for you is because that person has chosen you. Okay? When someone comes to you and you're a lady and has spoken to you and tells you that, you know what, I love you, that is number one step in the right direction. The other traits are things that you can be able to look at. What are your values? Because these things are going to base on your values. If you're the kind who feels that, you know what, I want a godly person, a person that prioritizes God. Because when they prioritize God, they're also going to prioritize me as a partner right after God. So if that is your value, then you put it there. Okay? We are the summation of our values when it comes to choosing partners. Because when you choose a partner that is so far away from you, sometimes I look at Mr. Sabiti and I'm like, if God had not given me Mr. Sabiti, I don't know where I would have been. If it was a person who has totally different values, we would have pulled drops. Because I also have a big head, I know it. Like you pull me this side, I'm like, I'm going this side. I'm like, no. But when your values align, do you know how sweet that is? That you are holding hands and you're facing the same direction. Two people cannot walk together until they agree. So if we agree that we are kneeling before the same God, we are praying to the same God, we are believing for the same things, we are nurturing our family the same way, and we have the same principles that we live by, are we going to have differences? Definitely. In character traits and our inborn traits, we are going to have them so much. Some of us are going to be hard nuts to crack. So the right partner is one who chooses you and one who aligns with your values. Okay? What do you believe in? Adding value to my partner is a rightful and in a rightful and beneficial way. Adding value, everyone knows value when they see it. Okay? Value can be in terms of money. You contribute something, you bring something to the table. But again, value can be in terms of moral support. Value can be in terms of spiritual support. Value can be in terms of just giving a shoulder for them to cry when they're in their low moments. Value can be your total commitment to this person. Value can be your total submission as a woman to your man. And if you're a man, total love and surrender to your woman. And say, you know what? You are the one that I adore, I love you, and there is no one else. Value can sound by you uplifting and upholding the passion that they want and flaring it into flames for it to grow. Okay? So if you want to add value to someone, people know the value that they want. Ask them. Are we together? People know the value that they want, so ask them, where can I help you today? How can I help you today? How can I serve you today? In marriage and in relationships, we are supposed to serve each other. So how can I serve you today? So if I say, you know what, encourage me in my passion. I know I am lazy, I know I procrastinate, but encourage me, keep pushing me, okay? That is a person that wants you to grow and a person that believes in you. So value, you can always talk about value, and that is why I say have the confidence to speak about what you want. When you get into a relationship, definitely you don't go announcing, you know, these are the 10 things that I want. No, but while you're having conversation, you tell someone that, you know what, I value respect so much. I value honesty so much. I value faithfulness so much. And short of that, the repercussions are I'm going to withdraw, and getting me back is going to be very hard. But the problem is sometimes we promise repercussions and they never come. Someone violates your trust and you still chase them. Someone violates the respect and you still chase them. So the value, people know the value that they want, okay? Okay, how can you overcome people pleasing? How can you overcome people pleasing? When you please people, let's talk about where that comes from, okay? People pleasing is like auditioning. I call you out and I'm like, I want dancers, and then you come and you want to do everything in order to please me, in order for me to choose you. So most of the times, the people pleasers fear rejection, they fear neglect, and they fear abandonment. And most of these things were planted into them while they were growing up, with their parents or with their guardians, okay? So most of the times, if they have abandonment issues and neglect and reject, and they don't want to be rejected, they feel they have to overdo in order to be accepted. So when you overdo in order to be accepted, it becomes a norm. That last time I did a lot and they accepted me. So it's more like you are being trained and reprogrammed. So your whole life is reprogrammed into people pleasing. So you start doing everything extra, even at work, even at school, even at work. A people pleaser will not just be a people pleaser to the woman that they married or to the man that they got married to. They will be a people pleaser to their boss. They will be a people pleaser to everyone wherever they go. So that means it's not just in the romantic relationships, it's in every fiber of their being. They tell you that, on Sunday we have this mukolo, you can't say no every time. You are there. I'm not saying that attending functions is bad. But again, sometimes you have to say that, you know what? I really need sanity and I need to sleep. I need to rest. Not everything I'm going to attend. I'm not going to attend everything, okay? So people pleasing is when you discover, you have to first discover. For you to heal from it, you discover that, by the way, I'm a people pleaser. But do you know that it's very hard for you to discover that you're a people pleaser? Half the time you're thinking, your head is thinking, I should work so hard to be accepted. And this applies to so many women. So many women. There are men that are people pleasers, but so many women tend to be people pleasers because they have to work twice as hard to gain the favors that maybe their male counterparts got. So they have to audition all the time. So think get to know that I'm a people pleaser, when you admit, then you know I have to prioritize myself. This is your time. Prioritize yourself. Quit prioritizing other people. And then learn to say no without explaining. You don't have to explain. Has someone ever said no to something and then they have to over-explain while they said no? Do you know that most of the times you tend to punch holes into their explanations? And then you're like, they just didn't want to do it, but they have to give me so many reasons. But right, sometimes you have to just be bold and say, you know what, it won't be possible. And then you don't say, now, you know, we lost someone, and then we have to go smile after that, we have to do this. You look so, you lack the confidence. And most times people don't want people that lack confidence. They repel them, okay? And then learn to go for what you want. Because people pleasers will always wait things to come to them, or they will hang around and do so much in order for them to be accepted. So they don't have the muscle to go for what they want, because half the time they fear rejection. So when they go for what they want and what they want does not like them, rejects them, then they shut up. They're like, what are they called? Snails. They crawl back into their shell. So even when there is nothing dangerous happening out, that person will stay in their shell. Some of them have failed to marry. You find them at 40, 50, they don't have anyone in their lives. But they were rejected once, and that they thought everyone else in the world would reject them. So they tend to marry people who are available. People that they don't love. So they're like, everyone that I love disappoints me and tends to reject me. So I am going to hook up with people that I actually don't love because they're the ones that love me. So, and then stop overthinking. People pleasers think a lot. They will think about something. They will think about what someone is going to think about them, how they are going to punch holes into them. They are going to think about, and then they will end up doing what they are not supposed to do. Why? Because they don't want to flip the chain of reactions as to how someone is going. So don't think deeply, okay, about certain things. Think deeply about your businesses, about how you progress in life, not about what people are going to think about you. Okay? Don't invest in that. And then, I don't want you to have expectations of people, because that is what makes us people pleasers. Expectations of people. The moment you have expectations of her, now you know, when I get her, have you seen a man that has set himself so much to be accepted by a lady, and then a lady says no? Do you see how they are crushed too much? Just know that, by the way, when I go to tell someone I love them, it's possible they will say no or they will say yes. But I don't have to lose them as a friend. I can as well either maintain them as a friend, or I can just move on to the next person. Okay? So have the confidence of not creating ambiguous expectations. And then sometimes our expectations are even negative. We look at the negative side of things, you're like, before I even ask for it, they're not going to give it to me. So stop doing that. Go ask for it. Half the time we don't get the things that we want because we've not asked for them. So ask for it. If it's denied, ask yourself, how did the other person get it? So if they got it and maybe they did something different to get it, learn the different ways, okay? So do not cower, do not fall back into your shell, and do not shut the world off forever. That is why I said you prioritize yourself.